Oh, that was a juicy clap on my end. Holy shit. It kind of hurt a little bit. That's how you know it's a good one. Oh.
Mine was
speaking.
Mine was delicate.
As you are. Speaking of hurt a little bit, we're going to be talking about Volume 11 of Berserk. This is
talking the first. Strong word.
This is the first one I'm going to just straight out say trigger warning for like gratuitous murder and rape.
Like literally every trigger but drugs and swearing. Oh,
yeah. I think there's some incest stuff going on maybe in this one, too. I can't remember specifically, but I know the king all has bad. Some parts going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So right in, we learn about the devil dogs. Well, we're going to. We start off with a chapter called Devil Dogs, which starts off with the king thinking about Charlotte and how the fact that she hasn't really talked to him for the whole year. She's kind of locked herself in her room and refuses to like speak with him, see him, or any of that sort of stuff, and how he blames Griffith for all this stuff, which is why he is employing the use of the devil dogs and specifically Wild to take care of the situation. So they bring him forth. We get kind of like a flashback where he first meets Wild. He's brought in, I guess, by the guards or whatever. He's in what the hell is that stuff called?
I don't. Yeah, like the wooden thing. I don't actually know what it's called.
Yeah, there's a name for that, but I can't
it's like
remember.
Stockades.
Yeah, it's like that, but only like handcuffs, like wooden handcuffs, essentially in this version, not the neck version either. But yes, that and he
with all the other criminals.
With the other criminals, and he demands that he be the leader or whatever, which brings the ire of a bunch of dudes, including this really big
Barbo
whale looking
Barbo the armor hacker.
Yeah, Barbo, that's right.
Oh.
Yeah. To which he just fucking kills him. I don't know. It's hard to describe what he does because we don't get a really good look of it. Basically, Barbo attacks him with like a classic troll hat type hammer mace with a spiked ball on the end, just like a club with a spiked ball. And the next thing we see is a bunch of line art and crows flying away from the corpse of Barbo, stabbed through the top of like the building or the tower rampart.
I mean, it's kind of fucking cool.
It's super cool. Yeah.
It's cool.
But like, we don't really see what happened.
Yeah.
He's just kind of there. Theoretically, he was thrown in an extremely fast way up.
Yeah, something like just in an instant, a strange statue had appeared at the peak of the tower.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So that's kind of how Wild got the respect of the other criminals there instantly. Through charisma of fear, which is awesome. That's just a cool line. Through a charisma of fear. Yeah, super cool. The Black Dog Knights were on equal footing with the Band of the Hawk in terms of valor, but even with that in mind, their inhuman cruelty was intolerable. There's just a bunch of images of them stabbing
and
kids and raping the women.
And, yeah.
It's all that stuff. There's a panel of all that stuff going on.
The king is just like, I just sent them to remote battlefields.
Away from, he was kind of scared of these guys, so he just sent them as far off as he could. Doesn't want to talk with them or be near them or whatever. So,
yeah. And we cut back to our crew who are getting help from such a nice, lovely farm family, like cute kids, nice dad, like that.
I'm gonna be real. I already feel sick. Like,
yeah, no, it's
because I know what's about to happen. It's real bad. They're so nice looking.
Sis got all dressed up with her flowers and stuff.
Yeah. She gives Griffith the bouquet. He's doing a weird little smile in the dark of his helm. Just a line, which I think is hilarious, at the bottom of page 17. Just a straight line for like a smile or something. It's just kind of cute and funny. Really, really nice family of couple children, a beautiful wife, and a guy. And like a maid of some sort, like a handmaid or something.
Yeah.
So Griffith is still fucked up. He's just kind of in the back of this wagon, strewn out in some hay as like a bedding or whatever. Because in case you forgot, and I wouldn't blame you if you did, he can't walk anymore because his tendons have been cut out. So
he is same for like
useless.
His arms and shit as well, like hands, feet, like fucking everything.
Yeah, he is worse than paraplegic. He's useless, unfortunately.
Yeah. So heroes leave. They wave goodbye. They're like, Griffith's thinking about the flowers in the field and dreams and all that stuff. Not like no text with it. We just get some nice images. And then we just get a panel of someone rolling up to the farm as well and saying, "Hi there." And it all goes fucking sour for the rest of the volume.
Yeah. So we get Wild in his armor.
Yeah.
His armor is kind of cool. Like, he has this weird,
like a barbarian.
Yeah.
Like the fur, like the pelt with
like wolf a wolf head.
Yeah.
Or whatever on it. Yeah. And we see the beautiful woman, that the wife or whatever of the family, that gave the flowers and was being so nice. And basically we get some panels of them ripping her clothes off, raping her, killing her husband.
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
In order, a sword through her husband's head, or father? I think she was the sister.
Maybe father.
Through the father's head, embedded into a board. We see arms and legs cut off. And then the children, it looks like thrown into the fireplace.
Children thrown into, like, cut and thrown into the fire. Yep.
And then, like, her clothes getting ripped off and just, then the deed itself. And there's,
you know what it is?
A beheaded child.
It's the terror in her eyes in that first one at the bottom page. Yeah. That's where, like, I remember reading this for the first time and just feeling like, really, this is really dark. Feeling like, in a way that, I don't know. That face is horrifying that she's making. Yeah. And we get kind of like a picture of the child's head, like you said, and there's other women in the background being raped by the other devil dogs or whatever. The thing that gets me, though, is that the next page after that, where like the sounds are being heard in the distance from our crew. Yeah, of pursuit. They say pursuit or whatever. And there's just an image of this family on pikes. They're like torsos and shit.
Like decapitated or without arms, like completely just half maimed. Of their torso, like burned.
Yeah.
Like just, it's fucking
This made me
bad.
Feel sick.
It's like, fucking bad. Dude, even now, like looking at it, I'm fine, but also I'm queasy.
I will admit the punch isn't there the second time looking at it. This is my only second time. I didn't want to like read any of this shit after I read it the first time. Yeah. The punch is gone because I knew it was coming, but it is still abhorrently gruesome in a way that I don't know.
It just hasn't been.
Kind of hard. You don't see this shit usually this gruesome, right?
It hasn't. Yeah. Even within this manga, it hasn't been. And like unless I'm blocking out other shit that I've forgotten. Like, we kind of don't again. Like, not like this that I can recall.
So I think I was kind of like thinking about it earlier, not today, but in general. I think the reason is every death that happens before, as gruesome as they might be, it's kind of a one and done deal, either for some sort of gain or reason, whether that be like they're in Guts' way, so there's limbs and stuff, but then they fall to the ground or whatever. This is like gratuitously just kind of, I don't know, mocking the dead, and like, I don't know, it's just fucked up. It's hard to explain what the difference is, and maybe to some people that are less empathetic or something, there's very little difference, in which case I sympathize or whatever. Like, I kind of wish, I'm a little jealous. But like the soldiers on a battle killing each other, as sad and tragic as the aftermath might be for their families or whatever, it is kind of within the context of what's happening. This is a nice family just got brutalized, and we get to just consistently see that brutality for a few pages. Yeah. It doesn't relent, you know? Yeah, man. And that's not something a lot of media does.
It's even like the fact, like, both how varied it is and how like specific. Like, it sounds weird, but like, it would be better if it was literally just like their heads on pikes, you know?
Agreed. Totally.
It's the fact that it's like, so it's just fucked. Like, it's too much.
It's the fact that like their eyes are still open.
Yeah.
Doesn't help. On the next page, the beginning of chapter 2, there's kind of like a big page spread of the devil dogs riding up with the corpses. There's one guy in the back right, just like holding
that's
the legs.
There's like a half of a torso on a pike, and then a dude next to it is holding the lower half. And
it's not even, I mean, it is what the image is and what he's theoretically doing. But it's also like the glee in his face. Like, everything about this is just fucking awful.
Yeah, like everybody looks either neutral or happy.
Yeah.
I mean, Wild looks determined because he's like all about the hunt or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bad.
At least we get away from that now when we get kind of see like our party, because now it's a chase sequence, so we're not focusing on that terrible look currently. Thank God. Not a whole lot to say about the chase. Guts realizes that they're going to be overrun, so he's going to buy them some time by murdering as many of them as he can, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And it feels pretty good seeing him cut through these fuckers, honestly. Him and Pippin, I guess.
Dude, what page is it? Someone throws the javelin with the corpse on it at him, and he deflects it, but like in deflecting it, like cuts off the head of the girl that they had just met.
Which
fucking
is that must be a bit ahead, I think, right?
Not
that's
too far.
That's pretty well, not pretty far. That's further ahead. Yeah, he's cutting through a bunch of dudes, and that's kind of like the next thing we see is we don't see who throws it, although I think we can take a guess, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a human torso on a pike coming up, and that it's fucking grisly. I will say that is still fucked up, this whole scene, but it's somehow still less fucked up than the one we were talking about previously of them riding up.
Totally. We also get like Guts realizing that like they're not, why aren't they backing down? Like we're like just fucking slaughtering them. And then he realizes they're being driven purely by fear.
Yeah. And he's about to find out why as he winds up, goes for the kill shot against Wild, and he just grabs his hand and sword in midair and kind of mocks him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've said before that I love the demon stuff. Wild is definitely not one of those demons that I really don't like him at all.
Yeah, no, there's nothing like anything that could be like truly cool about him is just completely overshadowed.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real. There's not much cool about him either. Like even
I don't
until he transforms, and then he's like still creepy in his transformation.
Yeah.
So, but he just seems like a big dude for a while, and that's kind of boring to me.
Yeah. What page is this? 41?
Yeah, that's where it kind of starts getting like important about stuff we're talking about. So Pippin also jumps in, to which Wild is just says a tag team. That sounds like fun too. Just not at all worried about this situation of two giant men attacking him. And Guts kind of starts having a weird panic attack type feeling that he remembers. He says,
He's
I know
been
this.
here before.
Yeah, I know this. I remember this feeling. And we get this awesome image of him looking worried, and there's like the shadows above him of the Skull Knight and of oh my god, I forgot his name.
Zod.
And Zod.
Immortal Zod.
So fucking cool.
That shot is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, so fucking cool. So the plan here, though, that Casca, I guess, has been doing in the background or is about to set off because they realize there's a bunch of explosive barrels or something on the bridge that they're crossing. Yeah,
like underneath. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck they got that set up so fast.
Well, what I'm thinking is that during wartime, it was probably set up by an army to prevent. Like, it's probably a tactical thing that just never got used.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
And like, because it's there when they're going over the bridge, and we kind of get like some panels of her recognizing it, jumping off of the cart, and then like running for it. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that's what's happening, but perhaps I missed something. And yeah, she calls to them, and Wild just says like gunpowder, fun, and gets super excited about it.
Yeah, he's hyped.
Yeah, he's super stoked. He's a fucking psychopath. So the chase continues. They blow up the bridge to get away, and lo and behold, it kind of doesn't really matter.
Yeah, man. Yeah, everybody. So like, Wild's all ready to go. His soldiers are like scared as shit because they're like, oh, there's going to be more traps if they plan their route or whatever.
Yeah.
And Wild grabs that dude with 2 fingers, like on his forehead, and just crushes his brain and eyes out of his face.
With 2 fingers, yeah.
With the
like
2, like... Yeah.
Like if you were using chopsticks or something. Like, yeah. It's fucked up.
It's bad.
Yeah. So he uses his charisma of fear to get everybody riled up into realizing they might die anyway. They will definitely die if they don't follow. But so they might die or might not.
Yeah.
Or they definitely will if they don't.
Yeah.
In a pretty brutal way. So they start coming back up, and Guts is kind of still having a memory there. And there's so many cool images here. The shadow of Zod that's like over Wild in like his mind or whatever.
Yeah.
Is super cool.
That's a great panel.
And then like there's the whole him remembering the prophecy or whatever you want to call it, the warning that Skull Knight gave him of one
year hence.
Mm-hmm.
The eclipse.
Yeah. When his ambition collapses, death will pay you a visit, a death you can never escape. So he is thinking, well, this is it. This is the death we can't escape or whatever. Just a super cool image also of the giant paw reaching down.
Dude, it's such a good... There's so much fucking wall art that I want from this series.
Yeah.
It's
if there is one thing that all demon stuff does well, including Wild, even though I kind of hate him, it's the art stuff is fucking awesome. The imagery is so cool. Zod is so much better. Though.
Zod is like so much better.
And like we'll definitely have that conversation in a bit.
Yeah.
About how much better Zod is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
For now, they roll through another trap. Shitloads of rocks fall. Wild is like, ooh, big pinch. Nice sound. As someone else is getting like fucking eye exploded by like there's so many things of people just getting destroyed by rocks.
Just exploded. Yeah. Yeah.
And Wild is hyped.
That panel is so good. Oh, nice sound where it's just like his head exploding from the rock hitting him.
He punches a rock also. Like
Destroys
I think the next like 2 pages later or whatever. Like this dude is there's like a fire then? Like just more traps.
They set a fire. They have I don't know, like a scout, an outpost. They have a random dude kind of giving a thumbs up as they're riding by with a torch in one of the panels, and he sets up a giant blaze on the road that sets them all on fire, to which Wild is just like sucking it in almost. Has his arms out like he's hugging it or like enjoying it, almost like if you've ever been in a warm building, like in a meeting or an office or something, and it's raining outside and you go outside and you put your arms out and kind of enjoying the breeze. It's like that, but for fire.
Yeah. And someone's like, is it Casca? Or Judo is like, is he a monster? You fucking
like,
think?
Well, yes. Yes, he is, actually.
And then suddenly, a volley of arrows. We see shitbag Corcus and the boys lined up horses.
Yeah, they made it back to the band of the Hawk. The crew.
Fucking Corcus messes up the charge call. All forces charge to the front 4. Wait, hold up.
His face in that panel is pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Where he's like, yeah. Of course, it's too late. Everybody's going.
Yeah. And then the battle kind of starts beginning. Wild says the Band of the Hawk or whatever, time to get a taste of them. And Guts just steps up and is like, no, I'll be your opponent.
Yeah.
And that's when you just know. So this
so
right
good.
here is where I was like, oh, I'm going to read this whole volume tonight, I think. I think I'm just in it now.
Yeah. Dude, the panel of Guts is so good.
Yeah.
Except do me a favor and do what I just did and slowly like zoom in on the horse's face.
On which one?
With Guts saying, I'll be your opponent. I'll take care of you personally. Oh, yeah, the next one. Sorry, the end panel. That horse face is like...
That horse is nervous about what's happening right now. Yeah, that
Guts is like talking big and the horse is like, please dismount.
Yeah, please leave right now. You gotta leave, man. You gotta get off of me.
And then naturally the panel below, just eyes, just Wild's eyes.
Of course. Yep.
Gotta do it.
Have the eyes. Yeah. Okay. So the battle is about to start. Wild says something about how Zod said there was a lively one in the band. That must be you. And basically just starts the attack or whatever. Gets out like a piece of wood. I'm trying to see if there's anything special with it, but no, it just seems like a log or something.
I think it's just like
like a club.
Literally like a tree trunk or whatever.
Yeah,
like that
he's
using
wielding like
as
a club.
Yeah. So it's just fucking giant.
Yeah. And yeah.
See, this is why Guts needed to stand under that waterfall with the tree trunks.
Because he's about to get fucking smoked with one.
Yeah.
Theoretically. The fight starts. We get the kind of panel of the Band of the Hawk running into the Black Dog Knights or whatever the fuck they're called. And with Guts and Wild kind of in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's our classic, like, fight shit.
Just a clash happening.
Clash. They're making sure Griffith is safe, and then Casca and everybody else charges in. You get a lot of lines of Guts and Wild, like, clashing. Like the speed lines, and even I can't see what page it is once more. Like as they're going, they're both I guess the first one.
So page 73, it has like a bunch of pieces at the bottom right.
Yeah. Okay. I really need to figure out why the hell Windows stopped showing me file names on the photo previewer, because it was very nice.
Yeah.
They're both still on horseback, and we could see the speed lines as they're trotting through this battle.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
The whirlwind of like attacks they're blocking from each other and attacking with is just like eating up everybody in the way as they're running through.
Yeah, literally the main panel at the bottom, like you could just see everybody in their path getting fucking destroyed.
Yeah, they've created essentially a grinder that is grinding up everything that gets in between them.
Yeah.
This shit is so cool. I love it so much. This is good Wild stuff here, where he's just a really hard opponent for Guts to fight.
Yeah.
And like even he's thinking like, this guy's incredible. He's stopping my sword with a goddamn log.
And then Guts decides to go for big blow TM, and Wild catches it in his mouth.
This is a pretty top tier panel, actually.
Yeah, him with the sword in his mouth. So close.
That face he's making is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and then he fucking comes up and like he moves forward with Guts' sword and punches his horse in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, fears confirmed.
So this whole part is awesome. Let me just paint like a word picture for people just listening or whatever. So the battle's happening or whatever. Guts literally thinks to himself, I'm not going to let him parry like that forever. Goes for a big blow to his head, to which it's caught in his teeth. Then Wild punches his horse, and as the horse is falling, Guts is using the fact that the sword is still in his mouth as like a platform to lift himself up as the horse is falling to get a good position to kick him in the fucking face.
Yeah.
To drop kick him. It is so fucking cool. This whole series of events is so good. That poor horse, though.
That fucking horse just one and done, baby.
That horse is definitely KO'd in the panel where they're just kind of looking at each other after.
Yeah, they both did their 3-point landing, or I guess 2-point landing, crouch landing.
Yeah.
At this point, it's not even like an impressive detail, but I just love how cool it looks for the panel, because we get a panel for each of them landing. Yeah. I love in Guts's that you can see like his pauldrons like in the air, because they're not from fucking attached at the bottom.
Yeah,
it's just such a cool looking thing.
Yeah, it's super cool. I agree.
And we get like, I mean, people are just like, wow, Guts and this demon are fucking crazy. You
need those filler panels where,
totally.
If if Guts is not on screen, other characters need to be saying how cool Guts is. Like, that's what a bunch of those panels are.
Yeah.
And you need that shit for sure. The picture of them standing off and like Guts is kind of in the foreground with the like shadowy headed Wild in front of him is so fucking cool. The one where it says he's a monster on page 79.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that image. I think that's so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
Wild is like just obsessed with how good of an opponent Guts is for being a human.
Demons love that shit, man. They love fighting people that don't die instantly.
Yeah, because they never get it.
Yeah.
Imagine getting to like wrestle your meal instead of just
like
forking
having
it.
a grilled cheese with cheese on the outside as well. It's insane. Have you ever had one of those? A grilled cheese with like cheese? It's so good.
I mean, that sounds amazing.
It's so good. Anyways, Guts is the demon's inverted grilled cheese is what I'm saying. More fighting,
but also Wild is like, damn, this was going to be a snack, but like I might eat everything because I'm not waiting until the eclipse.
Yeah, that exclamation mark on the page of them attacking each other is really
yeah,
good
just
too.
a big sloppy exclamation point.
Honestly, I thought it was a mistake the first time until I was like, oh no, that's an exclamation mark. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Mirror don't make mistakes.
We get a fucking
this is sad
thing where like the two dudes are hiding with Griffith and they're like they're not going to find us here easily. Griffith tries to, there's a sword leaning against him and Griffith tries to grab it and like just, it's like when you're really weak in the morning and you try to open like a bag of cereal or something and you just don't have like the strength in your hands yet to do anything. Like he can't.
His wrist just goes limp.
Yeah, and the sword falls, and we get a fucking depressing panel of him, like the sword on the ground in his hand, just palm open on the ground, like looking at it.
Yeah, it is a super depressing panel, but also it's probably, if you're listening to this podcast, it's probably one of the images I used. Just calling my shot right now. It's probably one of them. Because it's really good.
Yeah, it's very good.
There's a lot of good images so far, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we flop back to our battle. It's classic shit. Like everybody else except Wild is just getting fucked.
Yeah.
And then Wild, like, are people retreating? There's so much going on.
So what's happening?
People are running.
Here, we got a bunch of panels. Like that chapter kind of ends off with Guts and Wild at a standstill. Essentially, Guts goes for a big attack, like he swings his sword or whatever, and that's when we get the cutaway from Griffith. And the next thing we see is an image of Wild's log hitting the sword and throwing Guts back about like 10 feet or whatever. And then just kind of like looking at each other. But yeah, we got a bunch of panels of the Band of the Hawk are better fighters. Like the Black Dogs or Black Dog Knights or whatever might be ruthless and like driven to just essentially kill themselves out of fear. Relentless is the word I was looking for. But like the Band of the Hawk know how to fight. So we see images of like Judo and Pippin and Casca just like absolutely fucking decimating everyone they're around.
Yeah, they're just absolutely destroying.
Casca's leading the charge of like the no-name band members and saying like they're en route, finish them off in one go. And they're just like the whole Band of the Hawk, there's swords and mouths and they're just killing all of them, which is what's making them want to run away. But Wild is crazy, insane. We're just getting started.
Whoa, the fun was just starting up. My dogs give up way too easy. He fucking crushes a tree onto them, like a big ass tree.
Yeah.
So some are blocked, a bunch die, and everybody else is like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. It's fucked.
And then he's like, that spoiled the mood, so I'll start the party myself.
And this is where we get demon wild, like the actual form,
dude.
I guess
the where he says I'll start this party myself, and like looking from the top of the page to going like to the middle and then the bottom, like how the like all of the lines get thicker, like it just looks unhinged. So cool.
You know what I just realized though is at the very top right of that page, you see the panel where he says that's why you guys only die in piddly ways. There's the image of him, and actually kind of in the next one too, where he looks kind of just like a big dude wearing a, like, you know, those onesies that you can get with ears or whatever.
Yeah.
He looks like one of those.
Just wearing like a little.
It's kind of cute, and it's not supposed to be. But his little head.
Yeah. No, I definitely see it, because the angle that like Guts is drawn at, it makes him look not that big.
Yeah,
he looks like a vintage cartoon villain or something. Yeah,
it's very cute. That's the last time I'll ever say anything about Wild and cuteness, because he turns into Demon Wild. This transformation is great.
Yeah, we get a kick-ass transformation sequence, and like fire, and like a giant mouth appears, an eye unzips on his chest, kind of.
Yeah, there's
not
no
unzips,
good way
I guess
to.
The eye just appears.
There's no good way to paint a picture in your mind about what this looks like, but the best way I will try is think of like what you would think the abominable snowman or yeti looks like a giant monkey of some sort, right? Like an ape, but where its head should be, it's like a mound that is a giant mouth that kind of peaks up into what a human-like form, which Wild was before, and there's an eye there where Wild's abs and stomach would be, and two eyes on each shoulder as well.
Of the overall body,
Of the overall body, yeah.
Yeah, it's some demon shit, dude.
It is some demon shit. Mm-hmm.
I love we get like Guts being like, I was right, he's just what I imagined. Which like he means a demon, but it sounds like he means like this is just what I pictured.
Yeah. Oh, thank God I was right. No, it's not that.
And everybody else is like, what the actual fuck? Because like not everybody witnessed Zod. Many people did, but like I think for a lot of people here, this is like their first or like maybe their second, but demon encounter.
Yeah, I think for a lot of them too, Zod was like the tale they heard, because I don't think a lot of people survived that. Like, just in general. So they probably just assume maybe. Was Casca there? I don't remember. For Zod.
She came in afterwards. She was going for reinforcements, I believe, because she came in with other people.
And that was in like a dark, dank area. They probably didn't see Zod very well in general.
Yeah. Guts gets the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Here.
Like demon douchebag just like picks up a full fucking tree, roots and all, out of the ground, and uses it as a giant weapon, like
super
a spear.
club.
A super club is a good way to put it. Yep.
Just absolutely decimates Guts.
Yep.
And Casca is just like shaking, because like it's fucking bad.
Yeah. She gets thrown off her horse because he does like a stomp or whatever. And And this is when you know it's going to go bad, because we get a line where he says, "Just when I thought this party was a sausage fest, a cute girlie shows up."
Yeah.
And this is where I was like, I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
So I remember I was reading this in bed. And I was just like really considering just not doing this right now because like I need to sleep tonight sort of thing. I did keep on reading because I needed to. I knew I wouldn't be able to sleep just not knowing how this
just not. Yeah.
And another volley comes in from everybody on the outskirts kind of this battle. Casca, we see when we see a little bit better what's going on with the battlefield situation in a panel here where Casca is like right in front of Demon Wild, and everybody else is actually kind of back a decent amount. She's like really up there alone.
Yeah. No, it's just the two of them.
Yeah.
They try a volley.
They try a volley, and it
doesn't fucking
nothing.
work at all.
Well, it pisses him off.
It pisses him off.
It kind of works.
And then we get Wild just fucking up people, horses, a big old 2-page spread of like horses flying, people flying. He's stomping, he's swinging. He's
fucking eating a dude on a horse. Both
he
the
eats
horse
the
and the dude
on the horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just fucking chomps. Like other guy goes and kind of insane just watching it. Yeah. Casca gets to Griffith to Guts. She's like slapping him awake.
Yeah,
She's
he's
crying.
knocked
She
the
thinks
fuck out.
Casca thinks he's like just dead almost.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we should have thought that too, but like we know that he isn't because we have meta knowledge that he's a superhuman.
yeah. And then Wild picks up Casca and it all goes horrible.
It all gets really bad, where he just lifts her up and starts undressing her armor.
The part that, like, he also utters a completely untrue thing. He says armor don't look good on a woman. Hard disagree, dude. Hard disagree.
You know what doesn't look good on a woman? Armor with boob cutlets. That's fucking bullshit. Give me a normal breastplate.
I was thinking about it earlier. Like, Casca's armor is like the way to do sexy armor. Like, right, we've talked before about how it looks like she's wearing like a thong bodysuit or whatever, but it's all just actual armor. That's what sexy armor should be, where it's still like actual armor, but gives the illusion of being a thing instead of like,
I actually can't remember, and I can't see because all these images. Okay, I was gonna say, does she have the weird boob cutouts? But no, she doesn't. You're right.
No. It's actual armor. Her pants just have that like extra leather part over the ass.
Yeah, no, they're definitely like leather, like leggings or long underwear of some sort, then a tunic like type thing on top, and then armor like for her legs. Yeah,
no, it's all like
it's legit.
It's good. It's decent shit. It just looks fucking, the boots, whatever, like it has a look, but it's without being like fucking chainmail bikini.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, all of that gets ripped off. And then
generally I wouldn't mind, but the context is real bad.
And then he has like a fucking, the giant mouth opens up and he has like a tongue penis. Imagine the alien mouth, where it's like a little mouth, but it's a dick.
It's
except
very,
like more tentacly and spiky.
It's very like plant, like weed type style going for it though. Like where the end, like the head of it, I guess, is more
like this. Like the spikes open up at the end and like, it looks like like a pistol or whatever.
Yeah, I can't
part of the flower. Like,
I'll take your word for it. This seems like your area of expertise.
I did take a botany class.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna make a joke about jerking off to plants, but whatever.
He like starts rubbing whatever. It's fucking bad.
I actually just realized he doesn't. Okay. I totally thought he fucking just penetrated the fuck out of her here, and he doesn't actually.
No.
He's there, though.
It's still fucking bad.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. And then the greatest thing ever happens.
Guts just fucking ups that sword through his tongue dick.
Right through the dick. Yep.
Don't go swinging that filthy thing over my head. And we get the fucking top tier, like, censorship.
Yeah,
Wild,
not
like,
my circle X triangle.
Dude, it's so fucking good.
Not my PlayStation controller face buttons.
Not my gamepad.
Yeah, exactly. Can we just take a second to appreciate page 121, the image of naked Casca, demon, and in the middle we just get fucking Guts looking like he's on the front poster for Star Wars with the fucking sword straight up over his head.
Dude, yeah, it's such a good I wish we had it at a better time and like a cleaner angle because it's fucking cool.
This is not what I can use for an image for the episode, but I would so do it if I could.
I mean, just cut it so it's just Guts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like without the sword above or anything, just him standing.
This part is great too, because not only do we get the like him saying like don't go swing that filthy thing over my head and his face looking badass as shit. We get the image of just like his fucking dick cut in half, just flopping down, and him
his
using
face
that.
Yeah, his face in the background too.
Yeah, like his face in the background is really good. And then him using that kind of as like a distraction point to cut off his fucking hand as well.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Or cut deep into his hand. Yeah, cut deep into his hand. Enough to make him drop Casca is kind of the thing as she falls to the ground. Yeah.
It's super inappropriate. I know. Okay. Page 124. I just like that panel. I just wish it wasn't in this context.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm human.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
No, it's like a...
If it was any other context, it would be hot as hell, but it's really bad.
Yeah.
Boners don't care, man. Boners don't care.
Jesus.
Yeah. So this obviously isn't the end of this fight.
Yeah.
So
Guts is getting ready. Everybody else is like, holy shit. He's gonna fight this? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then Guts he knows how you think, Paul. He's like, clear off Casca, you'll distract me looking like that.
That's so fucking good. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's kind of some levity in the situation because like when she's like, what are you talking about? Let's get out of here. Like he very seriously is like, just leave, like just get moving.
And she's like startled.
Yeah, like this is not anything but like, I want this fight. In fact, he even says, I got to settle the score with them by my own sword.
Yeah,
that
dude.
Image. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's very good.
The way the fur is drawn around him like it's fire around him is so fucking good.
Oh, it's the perfect effect. And like the hand, I actually just noticed like the hands have the lines, like the hands are about to close in on Guts.
Yeah,
that's
he's
fucking
attacking.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
It's so fucking good. I'm trying to just skip ahead and see if there's anything like super important. The fight is fucking cool as hell. It's hard to talk about why if you're not looking at it, but it's one of those like anime things here where the attack is coming in and he's like kind of thinking to himself about what he should be doing in this moment, I guess. He's just like talking to himself, and he does the anime thing of getting out of reach from the giant paw coming down on him, and then getting like an easy shot into his lip and cutting his lip open or whatever. Like, yeah, it's an anime fight.
Classic. Yeah.
Where he's popping off. He cuts his leg, which makes him fall. And I just realized, I didn't actually realize this before, and I'm not kidding. Casca is totally naked in every scene here because her clothes were ripped, and I just didn't notice it because the stuff going around that is so much more important than the fact that she's naked.
she's just like naked.
Yeah.
I mean,
basically, like he wins though, right?
Yeah, he stabs him. I mean, he gets clapped. Guts gets clapped. Literally.
He gets the clap. Yep. We get Griffith looking pretty cute for
Griffith
how
is
fucked up
like,
his face must be.
Yeah, Griffith is like, it looks like he's watching him in like, I don't know the right word, not happiness, but like, oh man, he can do it.
Yeah.
And the people around it, the people holding him up are like, yeah. Like
he's watching him like Guts is his kid in the school play or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's into it. But yeah, he gets him on the ground by cutting his leg. Wild, that is, stabs him into the demon stomach, I guess, just the fur area, and that's enough of a distraction or thing that he's focusing on that to not notice that he gets clapped, as you so eloquently put it, and thrown into a tree.
Yeah. And then Guts is like, I've chopped him up so much. Like, how is he doing this? And we get the most important panel where he says wild jump. It's just like a monkey or a big ape, like the Yeti, like you said, like jump, like just in the air. We don't get any lines of motion or anything. He's just like in the air.
It's funny because I've kind of thought this looked weirdly out of place for Mira's style and how like not kinetic this image is. It very much looks like he's floating.
Yeah, no, it's funny as hell.
It's really, really good. Yeah.
And then
not good, funny.
Yeah, we get back to like normal style, and he says, and wild stomp and wild back fist.
Yeah, I like that all of his moves are trademarked with his name. They're branded.
Yeah. And Guts, I mean, he back fists Guts, and like Guts bounces off a fucking tree. Wild is like, shit, did I just kill him? Like, was that enough?
Yeah.
So everybody is like, I mean, everybody is just like, it's impossible. Casca has her hand over her mouth. Even Griffith is like trying to move, and we can see him clenching his teeth so hard that there's like blood coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell because he's not biting his lip. Is he just like, that's coming from his gums, I guess, from him clenching his teeth?
Yeah, he's clenching his teeth so hard that it's like pressing into his gums or whatever.
It must be, right? Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, it's a little thing, and it like goes with everything we've talked about with like Griffith and his situation, I guess, mostly last episode, but like it's important to like see that little shit, right?
Totally.
Because like, again, Griffith can't fucking talk.
Right.
And we're not seeing anything from his perspective too much, at least certainly not in these moments. So like, I feel like it's important to, no matter what conclusion you want to come to or whatever, it's important to like take in these little moments we get of him to try to form those ideas.
Yeah.
Because like, we don't get a ton, but this is like for what we've had during this fight, like this is a big one.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of the only thing Griffith can do. So I'm glad like they're doing something to still show that stuff.
Yeah. Guts thinks he's going to die.
And then we get a flashback.
The flashback. Hey, you're going to die if you keep doing this.
Yeah.
It's him with the little girl from the waterfall training.
Yeah, after the the lumber just absolutely destroyed him or whatever.
Yeah, and the girl is like, why do you do these silly things? If it's sword practice, do you have to go this far? He's like, the one who beat me wasn't like this. he was more. So Guts is just, he's not training to like deal with people. He's training to deal with shit that is damn near impossible for him to deal with.
Yeah, stuff that fighting against it will kill him.
Yeah.
So he's got to, it's like, you know how they say if you just take a little bit of poison, you gain a resistance? He's resistance training for otherworldly, hellish demons.
Which is good, because, like, it gives him the power. Because she says, you shouldn't. A monster will still beat you. And he's like, I don't know. Well, then you can win? I can't say. Well, which is it? Hey, and then his eyes open. Yeah, and he like jumps from the tree branch he was on to slash wild across his eye and chest and shit.
This is cool because this whole scene is kind of like showing how this is a instinctual reaction he has immediately to waking up. Like, have you ever woken up and you had that feeling that you were like falling or dying and you just kind of like jump up without thinking? This is Guts' version, apparently. When he has the falling dream, he kills a demon that's 3 times his size.
He just slashes. And like, Wild is just still in it. Like, he's hurting. He's bleeding.
Well, he got his, like, mane. I don't know if it's mane, but one of his eyes completely fucking slashed open. So
the chest.
He's not
chest
seeing.
eye.
Great, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you're dead. We get to fucking... All right, this chapter is called Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
We get the end chapter page is Guts, like, fucking... barely like leaning on his sword again. Super cool.
Yeah, this is almost what I would like think is Guts' version of a demon transformation right here for right now, where he's like, his body is completely broken, but somehow he's still like standing up using his sword as a crutch, essentially.
Yeah,
it's super fucking cool.
Yeah, so he's just wondering what the hell he has to do to fucking win. Kasuga's ready to jump in again, and Judo has to be like, don't, like, you're gonna get in the way.
Yeah, I love how he's like, you're only gonna hinder him. Look at his eyes. He hasn't given up. He still wants to kill.
Dude, what so we get the 2 bubbles. Look at his eyes. He hasn't given up, and in between them is Guts, and it's him going,
and his face is so good. Yeah, he's so happy looking.
It's like kind of derpy. Look at his eyes. Pretty good.
Look in his eyes, dirt. He's not all there.
Kasuga's like, why does he always have to fight? It's okay to run away. Griffith hears this, and we get that fucking top tier panel of him. Dude, that shading is so good. Or whatever the hell it's called. Is it Dottism?
Oh,
it's like
down there.
Noise.
I mean, using dots is called pointillism, but this isn't exactly pointillism.
Yeah, it's not that. It looks like noise. It looks like noise.
Yeah.
And then shading. Like,
honestly, you know what I think it is? I think it's a gradient that was done with like pencil maybe or something and then digitized of some. Like, this is probably when they went to the printing press. This is probably how it came out. Like, I bet the original frame is like smooth. Maybe. Because, that doesn't seem like a natural shade.
Fucking cool, though.
It's super cool.
It looks so cool. It's like, it's another thing of like Griffith's helmet being fused into the background a little on one side, and it just comes in as shading. It's good.
It's very good. For how fucked up his face should be from like theory, they sure don't draw the parts that you can see fucked up at all, which I think is kind of weird.
I think I mean, for me, the way I'm taking this is like it's very intentional.
Yeah,
because like
it's probably like the back of his head and stuff, right, and around probably.
I mean, I'm taking it more as like a not metaphorical, but like almost as in a sense of like his face is actually fucked up, but it's being drawn this way because like that's how we know it. Sort of, it's not exactly that, but like
I kind of thought of it as the torturer was weirdly obsessed with his beauty, and he just wanted to like attack everything that could be hidden still.
Yeah,
like his head, like maybe his forehead and ears are gone. Like, the torturer definitely seemed to enjoy the way his face looked. I don't think he would want to fuck it up right away.
Yeah. No, we don't know if it's just other parts or whatever, but
sure, it was just a little thing.
Oh yeah, no, because it's. I mean, like, yeah, especially that bottom panel. Like, you wouldn't fucking know if you just saw this, right?
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, Wild's in pain.
Yeah,
Guts' sword is fucking crumbling.
Yeah, his sword can't take all these hits. I mean, it's broken before from overuse against 100 men. Of course, it's gonna start breaking when a giant ape demon is smacking you around.
Yeah.
And I think it does like right away here, doesn't it?
Well, Guts uses a corpse as a distraction because he hides and then he puts a corpse up against a tree.
That's right. Yeah.
And Wild sees it, and then Wild said, like, thinks it's him, walks towards and says, "Wild chop."
Yeah.
Fucking judo chop or whatever.
This actually, remember how you were saying, I don't know if it's pronounced this or this. The way this is spelled clearly states it's Y-L or Ald or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Wild. Yeah. Wild.
Neat. I didn't realize that until now.
I had never considered it, but yeah. Yeah, he fucking hits the corpse tree. Guts. Let's see.
It's hard to
he was
read
just above.
What's going on here.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to see if we saw Guts before because I'm like, I know he's above. But yeah. So there he pops down and he just drives the fucking. It looks like his sword. Oh, right. I'm like getting my. Hang on. Am I getting my angles confused?
Dude, this is really
it's very
hard.
I'm looking at the. Okay, so we see him coming down with his sword, right? Like from above.
Yep.
And Wild's like, what? Okay, it's his hand. Because his hands look like his fucking feet, you know? He's got the fucking chimpanzees or whatever.
Yeah.
So Guts puts his sword through his hand, and Wild like crushes it, like makes a fist and like breaks the sword off. And then we get Hyperline Guts, who then shoves the remaining sword through his neck, like the original Wild torso neck.
Yes, the original man neck.
Yes.
Yeah. It's and then he's really hard to describe if you're not seeing it.
And then he fucking chokes him out. He's like wrapped around him with his legs, and his arms just fucking got him in a hold. He fucking stabs him in the eye with another little dagger. Yeah,
it's this whole scene honestly feels so good. I remember reading this and just being like, you know that feeling you get when you're excited about something and like your body just kind of moves or convulses? I was totally getting that this whole part.
Yeah, dude, he's like, it's fucking cool as shit.
It's so good.
The great beast collapses.
The great beast.
The great beast. Casca runs.
Well, which one? They both do.
Casca's running the Guts. It looks like he's fucking in rough shape. She's like shaking and then crying, but also smiling. The little thumbs up while he's on the fucking ground.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really good. The crying is so good too. Those happy tears. Oh,
Yeah.
like seeing the happy tears and him give the thumbs up or whatever and them hug is like the biggest. Is it not melatonin, serotonin just like hit after some of the shit we've seen.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
We skipped back to Charlotte briefly.
Yeah, it was
She
too
was just
good
in her room.
So
it was. I mean,
it doesn't get
just
bad
there.
actually. Again.
We get. Well, yeah. I mean that we go from naked, mostly naked Casca, just classic, just the thigh high boots.
Listen,
leave the boots on.
Listen. If they wanted to draw her that way in every scene, I'm for it. Okay. As long as it's just because she looks better naked and not because something terrible is happening to her.
I mean, I'm mostly for it because then we get to see how fucking shredded her back and arms are.
It's insane.
Dude, the muscle is crazy.
God,
she's strong.
Looking at normal people, I feel fat, but fucking
looking
Christ.
At her and it's like, Jesus.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, Charlotte.
We go to Charlotte like for 2 seconds or whatever. There's like nothing really. It's just like anyone, even if you don't read and you've been following along so far, you could probably just predict this little scene. Like it's her being like, Griffith, is he safe? And her handmaid Anna's like, no, there's no report of them being captured. His Majesty kept his promise. And like,
yeah,
but Anna knows that like he didn't. And then Charlotte's just remembering Griffith and she sees a bird in the sky. Except we zoom in and it's definitely not a bird. That's Zod.
Yeah, it's definitely Zod.
It's such a fucking, that end panel with the lighting. It's fucking classic. It's nothing new, but it's just so good.
I mean, it's the cover of Paradise Lost. Like you've seen this shit before. It's the classic Lucifer devil, like being silhouetted by a sun.
The light of heaven.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty standard stuff back at the Band of the Hawk, them kind of licking their wounds, healing up whoever they can. Casca talking with Guts and Guts being kind of a baby about getting stitched up. If you consider like what he's gone through, it seems like it was probably the least of his pain, but
yeah.
At some point, like, I get it. When the adrenaline's gone, everything is way worse. So, sure.
Dude. Yeah, and, I mean, Casca's scolding him for the usual shit.
Yeah.
Charging out, like, not retreating when it made sense, all that. Fucking Guts, like, aren't you the boss because everyone's scared of you? Like the Black Dog Knights?
Oh. Yeah, that great panel of her like pulling a little bit harder while sticking him up, and him being like or whatever.
Yeah, like freaking out.
Yeah.
She's just talking about how he's stronger, but like there's no shame in retreating. If you wind up dead, it's all over. Fucking Guts, Mr.
Like,
thickest skull in the world. He's like, so what? I'm ready to die. Casca's like, fine then, die on your own. Just a dumbass.
And then it's just there's like a few panels of it just like being quiet for like just nothing being said, and Griffith just kind of looking at them.
Yeah.
Griffith would be looking like a mummy though, wrapped up fully. Which makes sense.
And then we get like, I guess I even now, like, and certainly when I read through the first time, I didn't realize like not everybody knows how bad Griffith is right now, like in bad shape. So Casca asks Judo how he is, and he's like, I'm no doctor, she's like, Judo, like, please. He's like, and that's when Casca learns like the tendons in his arms and legs are fucked. So he's not going to stand. He's not going to hold a sword. It's impossible. And Kasuga's just,
Yeah, it goes back into like supervisor mode and says like we need to cross the border or whatever.
Yeah.
Then we got to cut back to Wild.
People looking at the body. And then someone thinks they saw something. He's like, huh? Nah, it must be my imagination.
Yeah. Yep.
And then back
so
to
Guts that means.
Guts and Griffith in the bed, though.
Yeah, just having some pillow
like
talk.
the wagon.
Just like bros. Pillow talk with bros.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't it hot, that mask? It's okay to take it off. No one here but us. It's like, get a little more comfortable, Griffith, if you want. Yeah, this whole part is kind of cool, though, because what it is Guts talking and just like cuts to Griffith sitting there looking at him. But there is some stuff going on. Like, for example, he says, like, it's okay to take it off. No one here but us. And then we get a panel of him kind of like moving his head to look at his armor, saying, you want to wear that, the armor, or whatever. So he puts him in armor. We get the most like homoerotic thing we've seen with these two yet since the water fight. We get the ghost moment of like Guts right behind Griffith.
Yeah, just fitting him in the fucking chest piece.
Yeah. This is actually like super tragic. I don't know. I get like waves of remembrance of like helping my grandmother like get like up out of her bed or to like move her. So like it's just, I don't know. There's something super intimate about helping somebody retain their humanity in a way.
Totally.
You know?
And like if you can think, I mean, it depends, you know, everybody's different, every family is different, but like,
yeah,
being that close, like imagine if I'm like, Paul, I want to wear my armor and you're like putting it on me, like that's fucking, you're not doing that for like an acquaintance or whatever, right?
Sure. I mean, like, I don't know you well enough that I would feel comfortable.
Yeah,
with
no, it'd be fucking weird if it was like me and you in either of these positions. Like that's not, we're no offense, but like take me to dinner first, Paul. Damn.
Yeah. Jeez, like, do you want to fuck me first? Like, it's a little less intimate.
We haven't even had our water fight yet. Damn.
Yeah, that's not how the story goes. But yeah, this whole scene is super tragic and like just nice. And I don't know, it's hard to get across why those feelings are there. Like I can explain them the way I just did, but if you've ever helped somebody just, I don't know, get dressed, eat something, like reach for the controller or whatever, something basic that you know they used to be able to do and now they need assistance with it, there's like an intimacy there that is impossible to describe if you've never felt it.
Yeah.
And frankly, I hope you never do feel it because it's rough.
Yeah.
It's a hard time. Speaking of hard times, all those people that said maybe we saw something, yeah, they're dead. Their guts are everywhere.
It's kind of a cool shot. Like they're dead and they're like fucking mangled, but like Wild is still just lying there. Like he's on the ground. Looks like he's on his chest now. Yeah,
he's like flipped over.
Maybe,
or something.
Yeah, maybe he's like crawling away or something.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he fucking appears again. He said he's like fucked up though. It's like, I don't want to die.
Yeah, this is like pretty cool. Wild. That scene specifically is very, very good.
Fucking cutting back. I was gonna say cutting back to Griffith now in all of his armor, and he like wants to swing his sword, but like, just can't. Guts is saying like, soon you'll be able to swing it all you want. Soon.
Yeah, I don't think Guts even really realizes the severity of his wounds. Because Guts is kind of an idiot. Like, he knows he was cut, but I don't know.
I think I don't know if he knew it before, but I think in the panel where Guts is looking at Griffith's hand trembling on the hilt, I think he realizes it in that moment.
Yeah.
And he just says it. But like up till now, certainly probably he didn't. Because like they've been so focused. It's like they haven't gotten to stop, you know?
Yeah.
So Guts has just been in fucking fight mode.
Yeah.
And then enemy raid. Well,
yeah, enemy raid as
singular enemy.
A demon attacks the camp. Most specifically, he just keeps saying, "No, I don't want to die." Grabs Griffith in his full armor, to everybody's like aghast or whatever. And kind of uses him as a like bargaining chip, I guess. Like he holds him up as like says, "Don't move if you do."
Well, we get some interesting because Wild like pulls back the wagon, and he sees Guts and Griffith, and he says, "There you are." Picks up Griffith, and then like everybody's saying like, "Stand down," like he's got Griffith, like don't fucking do anything. And Wild is like, damn it, what the hell? He's just like some insect, but he was expecting no time something left.
Yeah.
And then he's like, if I wind up dead here, I'll be inside that vortex forever. The vortex that we saw in fucking Black Swordsman arc.
Yeah, but here's the thing. How have we not seen it yet? Or is this him just like thinking? This is him thinking.
I think he's just thinking about it, yeah.
Honestly, this looks like it's in the skies. Like, oh, okay. How have we not noticed that giant vortex of hell?
No, it's like... Honestly, I think it looks like it's just the clouds then drawn to like form what he's thinking or whatever.
Yeah.
But Wild's like, if I die here, I'll be inside the vortex forever. Hurry and summon them, the great ones. And we finally see like a bit more thought from Griffith just thinking the great ones.
Yeah. This is kind of like the big connecting stuff starting here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You mentioned Wild mentions the Crimson Beherit. Says the egg of the king, use it, call them our guardian angels, the 4 members of the God Hand. And then we see the silhouettes. Griffith remembers the little brick in the wall, or not in the wall, I guess. Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's some great shit going on here. Obviously, everybody in the camp has their weapons up, ready to attack, saying like release him or whatever. Honestly, all this stuff is important enough that we could just like say lines word for word as they're written. Yeah, some of them.
I mean, the big thing, like he talks about Griffith or whatever. The big thing he does is he reveals Griffith as he is to the Band of the Hawk.
To everybody, yeah.
Yeah, he's holding him up. He reveals, like, he takes off his bandages, he takes off his armor or whatever clothes he had, and, like, his arm muscles, leg muscles, tongue, he is completely fucking, there's nothing. This ain't no cyberpunk setting. Like, he's done.
Yeah. I think, to be honest with you, because I knew, obviously, I read the Black Swordsman arc, so I know that we didn't say it at all yet, and I ruined it. No, but, like, we knew that Griffith is going to become something. So yes. Like we know that this isn't where his story ended by any means or any of that stuff, but this was the first time that I think I really realized these panels that, oh, this is the end of human Griffith for sure though. Like I thought maybe it would be one of those things where, yeah, like he gets better or whatever, but like, no, this is definitely currently like whatever happens And I think it has something to do with the whole like ambition and asking the God hand for a thing when like you really want. I like you can kind of assume what's going to happen, even if I'm off by some specifics. Like, this is the form that's going to do it because he is so broken that he's actually like useless in every way.
Yeah.
They really drive it home here, showing his just like fucked up body.
Yeah, just like chunks of, you can see like where the muscle has been ripped out, and it's bad.
Yeah. So Guts is getting angry, to which Wild says, "Don't move, I still have enough strength to pluck his head off." Now, while the atmosphere is still nice and hopeless, better hurry before I can't see anymore. Where's the Beherit? And then he realizes that he doesn't have it.
Griffith, yeah, you're supposed to have it. What the fuck? And then we get like the coolest panel.
Yeah. So
fucking,
I thought Wild was big until we get a panel of Zod coming in behind him and making him look like a bitch.
Yeah. Dude, it's such a good fucking panel. Just like,
yeah,
here's a real demon.
Yeah. Here's like the dragon of demons, essentially.
Yeah, and that ends out this chapter, and the fucking cover for the next chapter. Holy shit.
It is such a metal cover. Like, it's such a metal album cover.
This is like, I literally just know black metal albums that basically are this. Yeah.
Totally.
Like, it's fucking insane. It's just such dark shading. It almost looks like, I think it probably was scanned or something. It looks like a canvas drawing, right? Painting or something.
Totally. Yeah, that's definitely, I think, from the scanners that they used or whatever. Yeah, this is probably
it's fucking cool.
If I were to guess, and I might be off, this looks like charcoal, because this is very charcoal-y how you can do this shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
God, charcoal is so fucking cool. You can do such cool. I mean, if you're good with it, which I'm not.
Yeah,
I never have been, but it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, this is a hell of a shot.
We get so much Zod porn. Just,
dude,
the double spread of him behind Wild, like, with everybody just like
he's so awe. Massive. He's so fucking huge, and it's like full. It's not like, because if people recall, Zod also had two forms. This ain't the first form. Spoilers. No. It's the big fucking horn demon wing form. That's just insane.
Like, to put in perspective, as the comic does, he stabs his head with his horns into the back of the giant gorilla monster Wild is, and lifts him up over his head, just like
squats him.
Yeah, just stabbed with his horns. Man, it's so cool.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Oh, because you think you're gonna get more dumb wild shit, and then it's just like, nope.
A real demon has just joined the battle. They even say he's here. It's the real thing. Zod. Nosferatu. Zod. It's so good.
And we get more of like the apostle stuff. Is this on their orders? Do what thou wilt. That's the only commandment for us apostles. Even if I bring him to death, even if he is the fifth one.
Yeah.
And fucking Zod, though. Yeah. And if I rip you open here and now, that's my free will. Such a good fucking line.
Yeah. Yeah. So obvious, we know something's going on with what the like festival or whatever. So it seems like Wild, even for a demon, is like just super chaotic. Just has kind of no allegiance to anything. He really just only cares about himself and fun, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just kind of interesting because Zod is, from what we can see, is definitely like a lawful evil or something. Like he has something he is standing by, and it's not like this stupid fucking child demon is ruining everything because he's a fucking idiot. So what does he do? He rips him apart.
Yeah, literally just tears him in fucking half.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah,
just fucking so rips him in half.
It's so good. Oh my god. Griffith falls and Guts kind of runs and gets him. And this panel of Guts and Griffith kind of on the ground and Casca like standing beside them, just looking up at this fucking just insane monster. That's awesome. But then right below that, there's like a close up of Nosferatu Zod's face and the detail. Fuck.
It's insane, dude.
It is so good.
God.
Yeah, it's
so many good. Fucking lines.
So many lines.
And then I mean, I love the line he says. We get a close up like Zod is looking at Griffith, like looking him in the eye, and he just says, "It will return to your hand because that's how it is." Like, it's just cool. It's just good shit. So
the whole thing going on here that's kind of hard to convey or whatever, just because of how it's written, is Wild wanted to use Griffith and the Beherit to kind of survive this encounter. He didn't want to die or whatever, right? So he was going to, I don't know, blackmail's the wrong word, but like force him to do the thing.
Do the thing. Yeah, do the thing.
To do the thing, to which Zod jumped in because he's obviously been watching everything that's been going on with Griffith for some time. That's unknown to us currently. Maybe eventually we do get that, but currently no. He jumps down to stop this because Wild is a fucking idiot, and I mean he's wild. Like literally, he's going to fuck everything up. Even Wild in his like desperation plea is saying he doesn't even have it. He's not the right guy or whatever. Which is why he kind of like looks at him and is like, "You will." Like it's going to be, that's destiny or whatever. A lot of destiny stuff going on here. Fate. Things.
Yeah, totally.
What I really like here is he says that and you'd think it's the cool time to get away. And then Guts is like, wait, I have something to ask you. What's the eclipse? Just give me exposition, please.
What's the eclipse? Ain't it this monkey monster that you said I wouldn't be able to escape? Hey. And Zod's just like, you'll get it soon.
You'll understand.
Away. Soon.
The panel of him in the air with the just corpse explode.
The most important panel on that page is Corcus looking directly up. And it's so dumb.
Like some child watching the Blue Angels for the first time.
Yeah,
like the Father's Day picnic or something.
It's such a derpy little panel.
Yeah, then we get my shit. This is my shit right here, where the demon hell tendrils or whatever come to take away Wild's body or whatever.
Yeah. Now we get the fucking vortex.
We get demon shit, like real demon shit here. It's so good.
And then it swirls away, and all we're left with is an old man, a frail old man, who was the true form.
Yeah. The true form, which we know because the sword is still through the neck or whatever, and he has the same like tear in his abdomen.
Yeah.
And that's the
volume.
End. That's it.
We're caught up, man.
I'm going to be honest with you. That actually, on the second time looking through it, wasn't as bad as I remembered. There was a lot of cool shit in there still.
Yeah, it's because we were like both fucking dreading this, and it is, I think the first time you're going through it, it is just actually horrible.
It's a gut punch. Yeah.
It's very bad. Knowing it's there and revisiting it, yeah, it's still fucking bad.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it absolutely is still bad.
Yeah. Because like, I think it's also because like for me, when I reflect back on this thing, like that shit overwhelms all of the other stuff. So in my mind, I'm like, wow, this was like 99% like horrifying garbage. And then you read it and you go back through it and you're like, okay, it's not like even half.
It's like when you start a road trip and like you hit a skunk or something. Like that whole road trip is fucked now. It's kind of the same thing. Like that whole story is fucked now because we just witnessed some like kind of terrible shit right at the beginning of it and it leaves a sour taste. But arguably, now that I think about it, it just tastes so much better when we see him get absolutely fucking ripped apart.
Him getting ripped by Zod is cathartic.
Oh, it's so good. Even just like the getting stabbed and sliced up by Guts is real good too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's like a good battle and shit.
I feel like that stuff maybe wouldn't be as cathartic if we didn't get so much hatred for him. So maybe it actually worked out. I don't like when they use rape as a crutch to hate. It's the same thing as like video games that use a dog to be like, oh, it's a cute dog. Now the villain killed him. It's like,
yeah,
it just feels cheap.
Like, I'm not going to say like to never use it. I'm not encouraging the use of it, but like using rape purely as like a motivator for the audience's hatred.
Yeah.
I mean, like women in refrigerators also a thing, but like
it's the same. It's literally the same thing. It's using,
I guess,
a horrific thing to like lazily get you to feel something.
Yeah, yeah. It's meh.
That being said, there's no way to say it actually. Well, I was going to say that there's like, tasteful. No, not at all. There have been scenes of showing that type of abuse that I think lend itself to be an important reason why a character is a certain way. And like
totally.
The problem is that none of that is a thing I guess what the biggest problem with how this is portrayed is the other rape scenes do not revel in it as a like shock factor thing the way they do in this, because we see the real life ramifications of what those acts do to people and we live with them, with these people that we end up loving. So it's actually more of a horrific thing that they outgrow and overpower or whatever. So it's important for a lot of their like character development and us kind of like feeling for them as a character, where in this it's there because this guy's a piece of shit and he's going to just rape women and then cut them up, and it's just like, okay, well, that's just gratuitous and lazy.
Yeah, no, it's the complete opposite of like, we have like Guts and Casca's like backstories and how there's direct link on the pages to how they are today, and especially with like Guts and when they're having sex, and like Guts flashes, like I said, then super important. Like the fact that we get that is what makes it everything that happened before like justifiable.
Yeah,
because it's a full narrative of this person's life. It's not just like, hey, look.
Yeah, and it's them overcoming it, and it provides for us as the reader, if you have unfortunately gone through something like that or known people to go through something like that, it provides you hope and empowerment that you can fight past that sort of thing. And that's why, as much as I would prefer there not be Guts child rape in this thing, the reason why it's there feels like it's validated over and over again, and how that character overcomes that sort of obstacle, and how that kind of paints for a long time his relationships with other people. And kind of like what makes Casca special to him too is that she was the first other person that could touch him without him basically killing her or almost killing her. Like, yeah,
because literally important. For a bit there, like everybody who touched him just died.
Yeah. So there is a way to do that stuff, and it's to have it as actually part of the character story. In this, it definitely just feels like it's there because demons be demons and shock value stuff, which, like, I also get why it exists. I just prefer they not lean on that crutch. That's really it. It's a personal preference. I'm not mad at it necessarily, but it did make me pretty disgusted with it and kind of painted my first read of this stuff a little darker than I think even was intended for him, for Mira.
Well, the thing, like, looking back at this, that's still just, I was thinking about it today, earlier, like, knowing we were going to be talking about this, like,
sure,
this is also, like, I don't even know, probably at least the third or fourth time, like, in terms of the manga, like, in modern point and not in a backstory or whatever, that Casca has been, like, rape bait.
Yeah,
and that's, like, also it's kind of, and I was thinking, like, is the answer to remove all of the rape bait? And I'm like, that's an answer. Or at least, like, also have a demon, like, getting ready to, like, do the same thing to Guts or something, right? Like, why is it always fucking Casca?
Yeah.
As the only woman, like, lead that we have? Like, it's just... Yeah. It's frustrating. It is what it is, but it's like,
by nature a problem with just the fact that there's a token woman in a leadership position is the problem.
And I think, and like what makes it more tolerable in this is, like, it's not like she does nothing but that. Like, she's so fucking strong in every other area that it sucks, but it's not like she's only there as rape bait.
So quick, like, thought experiment. Same, everything the same, only these characters are like the Sailor Scouts. They're all women, the main characters. Is it worse or better if they're all equally being rape bait by demons? Or just
worse.
Shitty? Yeah. Yeah, I think so, right?
It'd be worse. I think it'd be better if every character is just suddenly, like, a woman, and then you still have, like, the same exact lines that they take. That would probably be better in a sense. I guess it would be like, why is only one like, why is it always this one? Yeah. If everybody is a woman, but
if Wild was a woman with, like, the weird, Wild is a demon, so they could be a woman with a weird, like tentacle penis thing.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. Right? I don't know. Like, I feel like there is an objective answer in some way. Like, for me, it seems like it would be better because that's not a thing we get as much of. But
because it's not a real life situation where women are consistently raping and murdering other women the way this is, like, fucking college kids, like, on a Friday night do shit like this. Like, it's a real life situation that is absurd.
Yeah.
I get it.
Also, like, overall, if every main character was a woman in this and it was just otherwise the same, that would be fucking incredible.
Oh my god, woman guts would be like the thing I jerk off to for the rest of my life.
Shredded female guts.
Yeah. Oh,
and then you get you get Casca as is, and then you get, Griffith's just basically the same, but with tits.
It's like the only one that changes is guts, and frankly, I don't think I wouldn't be able to jerk off to him right now as is. So Like, you're not changing that much.
Yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucking a thing.
Well, okay.
You pumped?
Yeah, so this is important. This is the breaking point for what has, I guess, we're almost at 2 hours. Well, we're getting there. We've done about 15 hours of talks, and it's all
After
been
this
stuff.
will be 16.
Well, it'll be closer to 17, but yes. And that whole time, it's been kind of revisiting stuff that I've known it has happened. The next time we do this, it will be directly after my first impressions, probably from here on out, depending on how we time things, of everything going forward. So you will get just complete, like, first thoughts, impressions, and asking questions and all that sort of stuff. No real big time to, like, ponder, consider, but most importantly, no knowledge of what happens after that to contextualize the stuff that we just read.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Dude,
I think this is going to take a turn in how, like, the content is produced or heard or whatever. I think it's going to be a shift in tone.
Sure. Dude, I'm so excited. Like, I'm glad to be able to experience it, like, with you, because it's such a cool, like, this is literally, I mean, it's not even close to, like, I think the stuff we're getting into is, like, the shit that I think for most people, like, defines the series. Like,
yeah, I'm excited.
It's such huge shit. And I'm just
would I be
pumped.
right in my assumption that the shit we're about to get into is the stuff that, like, would be definitely spoiled on stuff, like, people talk about or whatever? I haven't looked at Reddits or anything, so
it's like the bare minimum for spoilery stuff, I would say. Like,
would you say after we're done the Golden Age arc, I could start, like, looking at the Reddit? Like, is that how big these spoilers are? Is that these are the, like, Luke, I'm your father spoilers?
I think to an extent, yeah.
Okay.
You would definitely get spoiled on, like, random characters and stuff. Obviously,
I've unfortunately already heard a name, but I can't remember what it is right now, so I'm just gonna not think about it.
Yeah. The thing I'd be more worried about is getting spoiled on, like, character development.
I somehow doubt the internet would be that bad at that. The internet's very, like, what can you fit in a tweet? Usually.
I think the subreddit would be bad for that potentially.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is the subreddit's going to be bad for all spoilers.
Yeah. I mean, this is certainly, like, the biggest one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
I would say excited. Like, browse at your own risk, I guess, but, like,
yeah, I'm probably not going to, at least until we're done, like, all the anime stuff and whatnot, because I think a lot of conversation is going to be people that watch the anime and not necessarily went through all the manga.
Yeah, that happens too. Or, like, people who just finished the anime and they're like, oh, like, what do I do next? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, people getting into it for the first time.
Yeah. I've seen a more than 5 people that I don't necessarily would consider me mutuals on Twitter, but, like, that I follow and have followed me and we've chatted before, start getting into Berserk in the last couple weeks. And my ego isn't big enough to think that I had any part to do with that, but I think I had more than 0% with me, at least, like, posting on Twitter that we're talking about Berserk, like, even if it's not people listening, and just being like, oh, right, that thing. Yeah, I was going to check that out. Maybe I'll do that now. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure there was at least one.
And I think the news, I mean, the double whammy, I mean, it's not super recent now, but, like, maybe a triple whammy of Mira passing away the final chapter he worked on being released, and then the announcement that they are going to continue. Some between those announcements, you know, after any one of them, you could be like, shit, I need to check this out then.
Yeah, people are just, it's in the zeitgeist currently for a certain subsect of people.
Yeah.
I mean, Mir passing away is the thing that got me to do it. Actually, if I'm going to be more specifically, it was Elden Ring came out. I remembered how much I love the Soul stuff. Oh, right, this is heavily based on Mira's stuff. Oh, right, I was going to check out Berserk years ago. Let's do that. That's basically what happened.
I won't tell you which things or from which games or anything, but
I'll try to point them out if I can.
There's some shit that, like, even with my basic knowledge of the series, I'm like, this is, the games took this, like, they lifted it 1-to-1, kind of like the prisoner helmet thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a straight rip.
Yeah. No, I'm super, super excited. Also, I remember years ago, you wanted somebody to talk to about Berserk, like years and years ago. We're talking maybe 2015. You were still living here. And I remember you talking about specific parts or things happening that you wanted to talk about with somebody, but like nobody in our little community or group or anything like that was into it or reading it or whatever. If you remember what those parts are, you should like let me know as we do this, because I'm just interested in like what were the parts.
After I assume it was after I watched the anime.
Yes, it was after you watched the anime.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like the next chunk of shit.
Okay.
Because I had nobody to like freak out with, you know.
Yeah,
I didn't have anybody I could call and be like, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
Finally, after 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, better late than never, right?
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. Well, we hope that you're enjoying and that you're going to continue enjoying with it changing up a little bit in tone and how this goes. But I mean, honestly, I think if you were the type of person who was following along, the next, like the way it's going to go from now on might be more interesting for you.
Yeah. I would say odds are likely that happens.
Also, I haven't said this. I created an email that like if people wanted to use, you could. I don't check it often. So it would be better to find literally any other way. But if you want to send in an email, it is ihavegoneberserk@gmail.com.
What a oh my god, what a name.
It was created on episode 1 2.5 months ago.
I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, better late than never for sure.
I mean, the reason was because the ways feeds and stuff were set up, I needed to set up an email with it, and every other one of my emails has other podcasts associated with it. So I set up ihavegoneberserk@gmail.com.
Unbelievable.
So
that's such a good title.
So if you want to send something in there, I might get it eventually. Just don't hold your breath, I guess. Or tell me that there's one there if you send it and I'll check, but I don't check it regularly. Just as a heads up. All right. See you guys next time.
Peace.